So when you ask what a conservation easement is, conservation easement in itself is really a legal document that travels with the property. From a practical perspective, it is an agreement between two parties for restricted use of that property. For example, somebody owns a ranch, they may not want to see it developed, and the government that may be adjacent to a state park in Florida. And the state may have an interest in protecting that property and making sure that it's not ever developed. But the landowner doesn't want to sell it. He wants to give it to his family and his heirs. So they may enter into a conservation easement. They may actually the state may buy an easement from the landowner, and they enter into an agreement that that property will never be sold for development. And the landowner receives compensation, i.e. dollars, for entering into that agreement. A lot more specifics that go into it in terms of use of the property, but that's kind of the basic deal. And it's a legal document that travels with the property, and it typically is in perpetuity. Doesn't always have to be in perpetuity, but 99% of the ones that are done in perpetuity. Well, the buyer is generally a unit of government or a conservation organization. So it could be the state of Florida, because they do a bunch of them. Could be the water management districts, any of those in the state of Florida. Could be a county government. Could be the federal government. The federal government does plenty through the United States Department of Agriculture. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service does some. Department of Defense is doing some as well. They typically are doing those in partnership, however, with some other unit of government. And it could be one of the conservation organizations like the Nature Conservancy, the Conservation Fund, Trust for Public Lands, or any of the varied land trusts across the country. I mean, there's a bunch of different land trusts. The typical seller, kind of goes back to what is the buyer looking for.